Alright, now what are we going to do about that hide? Now I'm not going to lie, this one is really important to me. I want to make sure I don't screw it up. So I had to run to Middlesboro this morning to get some alum and pickling salt. Now the average mixture I've seen for this brine is somewhere around 4 ounces of pickling salt per gallon, 2 ounces of alum. By the way, I thought was interesting. You know, I always saw this stuff in cartoons and on the Three Stooges, and it had this sort of reputation, or at least this idea, that it made you pucker up and you couldn't talk, right? I'm going to go ahead and bring this girl out of the water right now. Okay. That doesn't look too bad. It's still got some meat on it. It's a type of knife that, yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Okay. It was all distorted from sitting in that salt, so I'm glad it kind of relaxed. Yeah, so there's still some meat on there. There's a type of knife that I seen was popular. Hello, can you hear me? There's a knife that seems like it's popular. I left the ears on this effort, man. I cannot risk any part of this little terrorist creeping above the surface and ruining the pelt. So I'm going to go with 6 ounces of alum. There's 3.5 in each one, so I just might dump both of them in there. 3 gallons of water, 7 ounces of alum. It's going to be 12 ounces of this salt, since it's 4 ounces per gallon. So, I don't know why I even brought the measuring cup out here. They say it's best to put the powdered part of it in first. For whatever reason, it probably doesn't matter. Yeah, so pickling salt, you're going to find that in canning in housewares. Before, I don't think. It's good. Yeah, that needs tightening up. Okay. Yeah. So here we go. Put this girl. See, it's like right there. I'm just gonna make sure. See, I got a good several inches of water above this monster. Yes. All right, so we got the hot water in there. I'm just gonna a little bit of Dawn. Get that nice and soapy. Before I put that sucker in there, I'm just gonna put a little bit on. I just want to get as much of the salt and dirt off of this thing as possible. So it's about a half hour later. I came out and just kind of wrung it out a few times. Just wanted to see how much dirt I can get out of this thing. Nice and soapy. I'm just going to dump this and just switch to clean, hot water. You just try to get, yeah. I don't want to really get a whole lot of soap into clean water, but there we go. Oops, did I bump your head? Well, we got some hot, clear water in there right now. I'm just gonna let this one soak a little bit. I'll just kind of like bob around a little bit, just kind of give it a squeeze. I mean, do I really need to put a camera on it? I think you guys can use your imagination to fill in the gaps on this step, right? There we go. But there's already a mild tint coming back to the water. This thing is... All right. I don't quite have that snap that I... Yeah. Okay, it's not too bad. Lonnie has no sense of humor. This is not a dramatization. Okay, so I'm going to flip this thing back inside out. I'm going to stretch it over this board. I got a lot of fat on this girl to get off. Now they say best way to do it is to skin it away from your body. So I'm going to try this blade, this butcher's knife, kind of lean against it and just kind of Okay. So, okay, so here we go. We're going to do one of the final steps. If I could crack this. I was going to use a chicken egg. I thought, how poetic would it be if I used one of Blue's last eggs that I swear I had stashed away in that coop that died because of her. I didn't know if it was bad or not. See if this, just wanted to make sure I had enough. Come on. No kidding. It actually works. How about that? YouTube gets it right once in a while. I gotta dump this in that water bucket. I'm done with that anyway. One method is using a yolk from an egg. They say just a little bit of Murphy's oil. Of course, the guy pouring it in the video, he's saying just a little bit, and he's pouring it like nitroglycerin. Okay, it's kind of thick. I see why he's doing that. Sorry, buddy. I guess that explains it, but you didn't. So just let that drip off like a runny nose. And I didn't bring anything out here to mix it with. So I'm going to use my finger. Wow. I don't know if you can see that, but a duck egg's yolk is really thick, so I'm going to have to get some water. Would you look at that? Just materialize that thin air. I'm just going to put a little bit of water in there to thin that up. And I'm going to use, what's funny about this, I'm going to use this fork and just kind of make sure. My wife would freak out if she knew I was using one of our dinner forks for this. Even though it's not like I'm going to be raking the flesh of an animal, but she's just kind of queasy. I'll let her know. After I cook dinner tomorrow and make sure I fix her up a plate, and this is the fork that I include. Relax, I'm gonna wash it first. Yeah, I'll wash it first. All right. Let's just smear it on, give it a nice coat. Hand up in this thing, because now I want to make sure, this is me doing this, I didn't see this on another video, but you start rubbing it on. They don't really explain how you do the other side once you get one side coated. I mean, wouldn't that rub the egg off? I'm going to have a lot of fun with this belt because of what she did to me. Oh yeah. So here we are 24 hours later. the most part. It tries to feel a little thin right in there. You know, they were talking about when they were, a lot of videos when they were using egg yolk. They talk about it getting hard around the thin edges, but there was a few mixtures where they used a dab, that Murphy's oil, to maintain oils in the tissue, and it really right now feels like one of those cheap latex prosthetics that you buy for Halloween, and it doesn't smell. It doesn't smell. It almost has kind of a sweet musk to it, so it doesn't stink and it's not drawing flies, so that's awesome. Got it hanging by the butthole, by the way. Next one that comes in my yard, I'm going to break its butthole in on that nail, then skin it, then shoot it. So we're looking at day 2. Everything's drying really nice. It still hasn't really hardened around the edge. Hold on, let me flip this around. Yeah, upside down. See that? I had it hanging by the butthole. Stretch that mug all out. You know, that looks like Nancy Pelosi. I'd like to hang her by the butthole from that nail over my door. Well, it's day 3. This thing is dry. Okay, so basically this guy had it set up in a way it'll flip inside out really nice. I wonder if there's anything I could do to soften that face tissue a little, make it a little more forgiving, but we have an eternity to figure that out, don't we? Oh yeah. You didn't think you were going to get away with that, did you? Huh? Oh, you're sorry? Apology accepted. Okay. Well. Uh-oh. There we go. And here we are a month later, and this thing is still looking good. It smells like rawhide, and still got like kind of a musky, and then almost like a latex kind of smell or whatever. But I still come out here sometimes when I get a few minutes, and I'll just work the pelt a little bit to get it progressively softer. But you know, next time I'm gonna detail the face a little more, starting after its first 24 hours. As long as you use that Murphy's oil, then it'll keep the tissue nice and latex-like. So, you learn as you go. And we'll see you in the next video. You're welcome, baby.